Alright guys, how you all doing? I'm Fiesta here, and of course, Happy New Year. That's I have to mention it, New Year, new vibes. But anyway, we got news, and firstly, we have Intel Core i9 3900KS is now on sale already in Netherlands. Intel Core i9 3900KS has been spotted, which of course reaching 6 GHz. ASUS has unveiled their ROG Swift Pro 540Hz gaming monitor alongside Dell announcing their 500Hz Alienware gaming monitor. NVIDIA introduced the RTX 4070 Ti graphics card for $799, which was the leak. And Colorful also publishing their RTX 4070 Ti ranging from various pricing, so you need to keep that in mind. And of course, NVIDIA is also releasing, or not releasing, but announcing the RTX 40 a laptop GPU series. There are some interesting ones there. Alright, so firstly we have Intel Core i9 3900KS is available for €799 in Netherlands. This is coming from Mage KKO. Okay, that's the name. But yeah, that's available right now. If you want to buy it in Netherlands, you can buy it from here. And this is the fastest flagship Intel Core i9 3900KS. And the pricing is, well, €799 kind of aligns with the MSRP that Intel has provided with the USD, of course. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But and it's available. Hopefully, it won't go out of stock. Probably won't because knowing Intel, that's always available. We also got WX Nod posting this here, and this is probably the Intel Core i9 3900KS that is available in China right now. As you can see, it's in Chinese written. So, well, basically not available yet, but spotted. Soon it will be available because obviously Intel has launched it. So we need to look into it. Next up, we have ASUS unveiling ROG Swift OLED 27-inch 240Hz monitor and ROG Swift Pro 24 inches 540. That's you heard it right. 540 Hz gaming monitor. So this is the 1440p OLED monitor that will support 240 Hz. And well, I have to say the design looks fine. Like it's amazing. I have to say, it looks like the previous design, but there is some changes, as you can see. It does look like the previous design, but a bit tweaked. But of course, the performance is the most important. As you can see, 27 inches 1440p anti-glare coating coming at well, gray to gray is 0.03 ms, which is, I mean, that's way too low. Like I have to say, wow, 240 hertz. That's of course the main feature here, and of course OLED. That's another feature that will be amazing to look at because OLED displays are just beautiful. And of course, it has 1000 nits of HDR, 99% DCI-P3, and well, look at that. RGB, of course. ROG Strix without RGB doesn't really exist, so yeah, there it is. We also got the, if you look into it, this is the one that I want to look into. This is the fastest. Now, I mean, it's 540 hertz refresh rate is the fastest monitor or panel that you can find or the money can buy, literally. Because look at this display. It's nice. It's a 1080p monitor, but it's 540 hertz. And I don't know if we really need 540 hertz because think about it. Switching from 144 to 240 has a very little gain. And then again, from 240 to 480 and then 360, like you don't really see any differences. So now we're getting 540. I don't know. Like what's the point? But hey, we know what innovation is required. So yeah. And of course, look at that panel. Like it's fat. The thickness is crazy. I like the stand here because it's really like minimalistic. Doesn't really spread too much. Kind of looks fine to me. I really appreciate this one. And yeah, look at this. That's what I wanted to say. It's very minimalistic. You can have a very good minimalistic setup like this. So I like it. And of course, it's gonna be supporting NVIDIA's G-Sync. Well, this is very obvious. And of course, 1080p monitor for the. I have to say, for the esports gamers, this is something that you need to look into. Even though like it's like very much like is it really necessary 540 hertz? But you know what, doesn't matter. Also, not to mention this panel is ETN panel, so yeah, that's you need to keep that in mind. Same goes to Dell. They're announcing their 500 hertz IPS display. This is IPS, by the way. so that's really good. If you look into it, this is the display that you'll find the 500 hertz. So yeah, it's also very minimalistic. I have to say they're bringing in some very good looking monitors, Dell and Asus. I have to say, and well, this one looks very clean, like cleaner than the Asus one. But again, depends on what you like, because this is also delivering 500 hertz, not quite 540, but 500 hertz, still a lot. Like you can't just deny that. And it comes with a headphone stand, which is again, like I've seen this trend with monitors or adding a headphone stand for some reason. I don't know. So yeah, it looks very clean. I have to say, like I really like the stands, both from Asus and Dell. Like they are very much clean. They take less space, so I really like it. And there it is. And of course, it supports the G-Sync as you saw. So yeah, not bad. And this is the whole specification here that you can look into if you're interested. I will link that into the description. You can just look into it. So for now, we just have to know that this is the IPS panel, also supporting anti-glare. That's, I guess, is a very normal feature. In terms of HDR support, it comes with a bit lower. Like it supports HDR, but only 400 nits. So yeah, not quite the in that 1440p monitor out there. But yeah, then again, it's just a 1440p monitor, 240 hertz, but this is supporting HDR 400. So yeah, not bad. It is quite good. We still don't know the pricing yet, but I'm hoping that the pricing will be, well, I'm not hoping anything. It will be very expensive, that's for sure. World's fastest monitors, 540 hertz from ASUS, and the second fastest probably from Dell. So yeah, that's gonna be very much expensive. And next up we have NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 Ti. Well, got launched basically. I should say announced, not launched. The launch date is 5th of January, so not too far off. Literally tomorrow, you can buy it, and the pricing is $799 MSRP. And I have to say there are some MSRP cards, but I'll look into the specs here. We already looked into specs, but we're gonna redo it. It's gonna be supporting GPU transistors of 35.8 billion. The GPU die size is smaller, 295 millimeters square, and the SMs are 60, which translate to CUDA cores of 7,680. And of course, the boost clock is 2.6. Coming with the 38.4 teraflops of FP32 compute units, and the memory is 12 gigs, which is nice, but the memory bus is lower, 192. The memory speed is 21 Gbps, and the bandwidth is 504 gigabytes per second. And the TGP that is rated is 285 watts, so not that bad. It's quite efficient, I have to say. And yeah, the MSRP we already know, $799. So that's not a bad price, not a good price either. But in terms of value, I don't know. It might be good. We'll see. But let's look into some colorful stuff here. They're launching their GPUs, and this is the design, which basically the RTX 4080 design haven't really changed. The same thing. But if you look into this is the iChill, by the way. Oh, not the iChill, Neptune. The iChill is from Inno3D. Never mind. This is the Neptune model. So yeah, water cooled. Again, if you're interested, you can look into it. But we do have the pricing information for the all models. And if you look into it, this is the pricing information coming with the cheapest one is the 4070 Ti NBXC EX. Never mind. Anyway, $799, which is the MSRP model. A little bit, I mean, not just a little bit, $50 increased, which is the 4070 Ti Ultra W. First, I thought it was ultra wide, but then again, it's not a monitor. It's coming with 849 USD, so not bad, but still, like it's better to go with the MSRP anyway. But if you want to pay premium, go for it. But I don't want to pay this much premium because 4070 Ti AD coming at $899 and the Vulcan at $949, and of course the Neptune. That's what we saw, the water cool one, which kind of makes sense, $969. But I wouldn't really pay price for $949 and $899 for, well, just for a bit of overclocking. It's just not worth it in my opinion. But yeah, this is pricing that has been listed from Colorful. The other listing still yet to come for the other models, Asus and MSI and the other. But looking at this kind of pricing, we can guess that those overclocked models are gonna be very much expensive, because this is I can expect more than 849 from Asus, because well they usually go they might even go more than 1,000, who knows. So yeah, The pricing doesn't look that good either for the overclocked models. But if you want to stick with MSRP, you can get MSRP models for $799. So that's not bad. Next up, we have of course, the RTX 40 series laptops are here. And if you want to look into it, well, this is the architecture. Well, with no 880, nothing really different. But if you want to look into the specs here, let's look into it. RTX 4090 laptop coming with the CUDA cores of 9728. The boost clock is gonna be around 1.4 to 2.04 gigahertz, somewhere around that. And the memory says gonna be 16 gigs. So yeah, for a laptop it makes sense. And the memory will be G6, not G6X. Makes sense, more efficient. RTX 4080 coming at 7424 CUDA cores, and the boost clock is gonna be rising to 2.28 gigahertz. Memory side gets a decrease in 12, and of course G6. The 4070 laptop will be coming at 4608, and the boost clock is gonna be 2.1. Kind of strange. It should be higher than 4080, but okay. Like yeah, it's strange. It's lower than 4080. But yeah, memory size is 8 gigs and G6. 4060 and 4050 is also here, and the 4060 coming at 3072, and the 4050 coming at 2560. That's the CUDA cores. The boost clock for the 4060 is 2.3. As I mentioned, it's higher than 4080, but 4070 is lower. Kind of weird. Yeah, 2.37 gigahertz, 8 gigs, and the 4050 has 2.37, similar clocks, but the base clock is a bit higher. Doesn't really make sense, or doesn't really matter, I should say. But yeah, 6 gigs, yeah, it's gonna be a bit lower. And of course G6. So yeah, this is the specs here. And if you look into some performance detail, let's look into it. Well, this is it. We have the RTX 4090 performance, laptop GPU performance here. And if you look into it, this is the RTX 4090 laptop. And if we look into it, did they enable DLSS? Yes, they did. DLSS Super Resolution Quality Mode is enabled here. I guess this is only supporting DLSS 3, so not really a fair chart here, I should say, because RTX 3080 Ti and 2080 doesn't support DLSS 3. And we already know that DLSS 3 generates fake frames, or yeah, you could say that. So it's not really a fair trade-off here, because it's way too high, but you wouldn't really see this without DLSS 3. But anyway, so as you can see, it's really reaching the 2 times that they want to claim. Not in Blender though, but yeah, in games like in Portal, RTX, Cyberpunk is reaching 4 times. I mean, it really doesn't make sense to me, because why would you like, look at this. RTX 3080 Ti is reaching only 1 times, and well, it's reaching 4 times, and well, it would. DLSS 3 is enabled, and DLSS 3 doesn't support in RTX 3080. So yeah, like what's going on? This is not a fair, chart here. But yeah, you get it. The specs, well, they're gonna translate into something that we're gonna look into in the future. But for now, we have to wait. We need to wait. Alright, that is it for today. What do you think about the RTX 40 series laptop, the 4070 Ti pricing, and of course the Intel Core i9-3900KS getting launched? Are you interested? That's all I'm asking, because it's a very fast processor, 6 gigahertz, the very first processor to reach that. So yeah. Anyway, have a good day, and like, share, and subscribe. See ya.